So I do stand-up story time, and it's not memorized, it's created, and it's written by me. But because it's not memorized, the same story could be different each time. That's what I love about it. And it's about my personal life, and I don't hold back. So get ready. You see this beauty right here? Some of you may know who she is. She is Kuan Yin, the deity of kindness and compassion. And boy, oh boy, does she speak to me. Growing up in New England, in my household, there was no kindness, no compassion. There were just beatings, and the elephant in the room, I would speak about it and was immediately told I was crazy, I was making things up. You never saw anybody shut down so fast. That was the message. Years later, I moved to downtown Brooklyn, and I happened to be going to a therapist who was a Buddhist, and he knew about my curiosity with Buddhism. So he turned me on to the books, and he turned me on to the Shambhala Center on 22nd Street. He said, go over there, get free meditation, get familiar. So I just thought it was cool, and I did it. When I went to the Shambhala Center on West 22nd Street, I walked in, the foyer was large and elegant and all decorated Asian, and then these big, huge orange doors, and you open them, and this gorgeous shrine room with windows across the whole wall, and all of these hangings. It was effing elegant. It was great. I was blown away. But then I see two people bowing to each other. I had never in my life ever seen that. Not in this culture, not in my family. So I asked the practitioner, what does that mean? And he said to me, they're showing respect. Oh my God, this I craved. Urine. You mean I could actually get respect in my life? I could actually have kindness in my life? I want it. I actually made the decision that I was going to go live at Carmen Choling Buddhist Retreat Center for 2 years. But at the same time, I had been an actress and not making any money, so I had a full-time job as a New York City book publicist. And I was publicizing this book that was 12 years old, and it went on to the NYTimes bestseller list for 63 weeks. And it was called How to Satisfy a Woman Every Time and Have Her Beg for More. People thought I was nuts. Who walks away from working your ass off for a career, getting somewhere, and then leaving? Me. I did. They thought I was going to a cult. I was out of my mind. I was just crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. Don't ask what my family thought. But I knew me. I knew I hated myself on the inside. I really did. And you know what else? Having the success as the book publicist, it showed me that I began to see that I had these talents that I never realized that So I think it gave me the courage and the foundation to make this leap, going to live at Carmicholing and leaving everything in New York City and living there for 2 years. Not easy. So the first day I'm there, I'm in the first floor, the long hallway. It's long, really long. And there's a glass window, and I'm looking at this beautiful Zen garden. And all of a sudden, I live with 60 people. There was one female resident on one end, one female resident on the other end. F you, he says. F you too. And I'm going, oh my God. People come here and they think we're calm, cool, collected. We got it together. No, we are so, let me speak for myself. I was crazy, absolutely out of my mind. Couldn't sit still, couldn't keep my mouth shut, had no idea about boundaries. And so let me give you a sample of my whole day. So in the morning, I would get up at 6:30 and go down for morning chants. And then after the morning chants, we'd go into breakfast. And sometimes I would have to do the breakfast dishes and then mop the floor. And then if there wasn't any programs going on, or if I didn't have some homework that I had to do, I would go sit in this, again, orange doors open up to this gorgeous shrine room, all windows facing the Green Mountains of Vermont, gorgeous wall hangings and teachers, and what a mess I was. I sat there, I'd get up and pee. I'd sit again, I'd fall asleep. I'd sit there, I'd have sexual fantasies. I'd get up again, I'd want to go to talk to somebody. I thought I was completely hopeless. I thought this, and don't ask if there were days of silence. Oh my God, this mouth. And being a book publicist, well, the one thing that I did do is I didn't give up. So then I had to go to my job in the kitchen. And let me tell you something. I think it's one of the hardest jobs there is in a retreat center. You getting ready for meals for 60 people, that is hard. And we had this head cook, Maurice, and he was wonderful. And he was a great cook, but sometimes he had a temper. And if I didn't do something right, and then there was this woman, Nancy, who, for whatever reason, she just loved to pick on me. I mean, one of the things you learn at Carmicholing, you better work things through, because if you don't, you are in trouble, or you have to let it go. I came up with an idea, and I went to the chef, and I said, look, how about having happy hour? I'll make gorgeous desserts, so psychologically, residents, anybody doing a program, they'll come in happy, and they'll leave happy. And we liked the idea. And I got to work alone. And I made chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal cookies, banana bread, chocolate cake, you name it. And sure enough, everybody came in happy, they left happy. So after my shift was over, again, going to the shrine room, and then afterwards we'd have supper. And if I didn't have any other jobs, or if there wasn't a program going on, or studying, I had the evening free. So, there was a phenomenal thing, there was many phenomenal things that happened to me in the 2 years at Carmichael. But this really stands out. It was Shambhala Day, which is the Tibetan New Year in February. And at that time, they were allowing young women to have children and babies at the center. And I'm in the kitchen with one of the chefs, and I'm holding this beautiful little baby in my arms. And the chef decides to put on Jewish klezmer music for Shambhala Day. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard klezmer music. Go on YouTube. You put it on, you gotta get up and dance. So I'm holding this beautiful little baby, and I'm dancing to the klezmer music. And then all of a sudden, this phenomenon happens. 43 years ago, my first day of Brickett School, when I was 7 years old, I was told I was a dirty Jew. And I believed it for all those years. And this day, it all left. And all of a sudden, I began to realize why I loved being Jewish, bringing people around tables with food, lots of food to connect each other, the dancing, the singing, the Yiddish expressions, and I no longer cared, or maybe cared a little, if you didn't like me because I was Jewish. I was really proud of my heritage. So when I went back to New York City, I want to tell you something. I got what I worked so hard for. I came back a woman who was in love with herself and who wanted to do good for others. And that's still going on to this day.